Imagine a door that knows someone is standing in front of it before they even touch anything. It detects human presence with radar. It checks the face using a facial recognition camera. And if face recognition is not available, it can still unlock using an RFID card or tag. That is exactly what I am building in this video. This is a smart access control system powered by an ESP32-S3 and 3 different modules: the HLK LD2410B radar sensor, the HLK FM225 facial recognition module, and the RDM6300 RFID reader. But there was one big problem. The HLK FM225 is a cheap Chinese facial recognition module, and when I first tried to write code for it using AI, the AI completely failed. It generated code, but the module did not respond properly. So instead of guessing the protocol again and again, I used a different trick. First, I connected the FM225 module to my computer using USB and opened the official HLK software. Inside the software, I tested different operations like face detection, face registration, face recognition, deleting face data, and checking module responses. Then came the important part. While the official software was communicating with the module, I connected the UART TX and RX lines of the FM225 to an ESP32. This allowed the ESP32 to work like a UART sniffer. I could see the real command packets sent by the software and the real response packets coming back from the module. That was the turning point of the project. Now I was no longer guessing how the module works. I was watching the actual working communication, understanding the command structure, and then writing my own ESP32 code functions based on the real data. Now let's talk about the wiring. We have 3 UART-based modules. Because all 3 modules use serial communication, wiring and serial port management are very important. I am wiring here according to ESP32-S3. You can select the ESP32 pins according to your module. For the FM225 module, connect GND goes to ESP32 GND and VCC to 5-volt power supply. FM225TX goes to ESP32 GPIO 38. FM225RX goes to ESP32 GPIO 37. For the LD2410B radar module, VCC goes to 5-volt, GND goes to ESP32 GND, Radar TX goes to ESP32 GPIO 41, Radar RX goes to ESP32 GPIO 40. For the RDM6300 RFID module, VCC goes to 5-volt, GND goes to ESP32 GND. RFID TX goes to ESP32 GPIO 17. Since ESP32 has multiple hardware serial ports, we can manage these modules using separate UART connections. But if your ESP32 board does not have enough free UART pins, you can also use a software serial approach. Now, in VS Code, I created a new PlatformIO project for the ESP32-S3. And if you are completely new to VS Code and PlatformIO coding, don't worry. I have already made a complete beginner-friendly tutorial where you can learn how to install VS Code, set up PlatformIO, create a project, compile code, and upload firmware to the ESP32. The link to that tutorial is available in the description. So in this video, I will move a little faster and focus on the actual smart access control system. At this point, I did not ask the AI agent to write the full project in one single prompt, because that usually creates messy code. Instead, I broke the project into small parts. First, I gave the AI agent a very clear instruction. Create the code for the HLK-FM225 facial recognition module. The module RX pin is connected to ESP32 GPIO 37. And the module TX pin is connected to ESP32 GPIO 38. I have already pasted the helper functions inside a file called helper.txt. Use these helper functions and create a separate module file named FM225. We will use these functions later in the main project. This was important because the FM225 communication was not something AI guessed correctly before. So now, instead of asking it to invent the protocol, I gave it the real helper functions that I had already created from UART tracing. After that, I moved to the second module, The next prompt was for the HLK LD2410B radar sensor. I asked the AI agent, generate code for the HLK LD2410B radar sensor module. It is connected to the ESP32 using GPIO 41 for radar RX and GPIO 40 for radar TX. Create all radar-related functions in a separate file named radar. We will use these functions later in the final project. Again, the goal was simple. Keep the radar code separate, clean, and reusable. Then came the third module, the RDM6300 RFID reader. For this, I gave another focused prompt. Write code for the RDM6300 RFID module connected to ESP32 GPIO 17. Place all RFID-related code in a separate file named RDM. We will use these functions later in the main project. Also, use the helper file where needed. Now we had 3 separate building blocks. One file for facial recognition, one file for radar detection, one file for RFID reading. And this is exactly how agentic coding becomes powerful. You do not just say, build everything. You guide the AI step by step, module by module, and test each part separately. Once all the basic modules were created, then I gave the final prompt. Now, create the main web server code and combine everything we created earlier. Add the FM225 facial recognition functions, the HLK-LD2410B radar functions, and the RDM6300 RFID functions into one ESP32-S3 web dashboard. The dashboard should show live status from all modules and allow us to control or test each module from the browser. This way, the project became much easier to manage. Instead of one huge, confusing code file, we now had a clean PlatformIO project with separate files for each module. And the best part is, if something does not work, we can easily debug only that specific module instead of breaking the whole project. This is the real trick when using AI for embedded projects. Do not expect AI to magically write perfect firmware in one shot. Give it small tasks, give it real pin connections, give it helper functions. Test the output on real hardware, then give the next prompt. That is how we slowly converted 3 different modules into one working ESP32-S3 smart access system. Now the code structure is ready, but before uploading the firmware to the ESP32-S3, we need to add a few important network settings. Instead of manually editing everything again and again, I asked the AI agent to update the project and add my Wi-Fi credentials inside the code. I gave it the Wi-Fi name and password so the ESP32-S3 can connect to my local network and host the web dashboard. I also asked the AI agent to enable mDNS in the project and set the local host name to fm.local. This way, instead of checking the ESP32 IP address every time, I can simply open the dashboard by typing http://fm.local. Now comes the exciting part. It is time to compile the firmware. I opened the terminal inside VS Code and ran this command, pio run. This command checks the complete project, compiles all the files, links all the libraries, and builds the final firmware for the ESP32-S3. And this step is very important, because if there's any mistake in the code, missing library, wrong function name, or file issue, PlatformIO will show the error here before we upload anything to the board. Once the code compiled successfully, that means our firmware was ready. Now it was time to upload it to the ESP32-S3. So in the same VS Code terminal, I ran PO-run-T upload. Now PlatformIO started uploading the firmware to the ESP32-S3. And after a few seconds, the board restarted. At this moment, all the hard work finally came together. Our complete web server is running. To open the dashboard, make sure your computer or mobile phone is connected to the same Wi-Fi network as the ESP32. Then, open any web browser and type fm.local. Now, press enter. And here we go. This is our ESP32-S3 Smart Access dashboard running live from the board. On this single web page, we can see the HLK FM225 facial recognition module, the HLK LD2410B radar sensor, and the RDM6300 RFID reader working together. This is not just a demo screen. This is a working base system that you can use in your own project to control a door lock, smart cabinet, attendance system, security trigger, or any custom access control system. Right now, I am showing the actual physical project enclosed inside a 3D printed case, so everything looks clean and practical, not just wires on a table. First, I enroll my face into the FM225 module directly from the web dashboard. This makes the whole system much more practical because I do not need to connect the module again and again to a separate PC software just to manage face data. From the browser itself, I can trigger the enrollment process and store a face into the module. Once the face is successfully enrolled, I move to the verification test. Now, this is the most important part of the final demo, because here we can see whether the whole system is actually working in real time or not. First, I place a wrong face in front of the camera. You can see that the FM225 does detect a face, but it does not approve access, because that face is not registered inside the module. And on the web dashboard, the result is updated live, so we can immediately see that the verification has failed. This is exactly what we want in a real access control system. The module should not just detect any human face, it should only approve the face that has already been enrolled. Then I test it again, but this time with the correct enrolled face. Now, the moment the registered face comes in front of the FM225 module, the system recognizes it successfully. The match result appears live on the dashboard, and now we can clearly see that the facial recognition part of the project is working properly. So in this small demo, we are verifying both conditions. If the wrong person comes in front of the camera, the system rejects it. If the correct enrolled person appears, the system accepts it. And that is what makes this final output satisfying, because this is no longer just wiring, code, and sensors on a table. This is a real working smart access system with live facial enrollment, real-time verification, and browser-based monitoring. Now, let's test the RDM6300 RFID module. I bring the RFID tag close to the reader, and instantly the tag is detected. You can see the RFID value updating live on the web dashboard. This means the RFID module is working perfectly as a backup access method. So finally, our smart access control system is complete and fully working. If you want to build the same project, the full working code is available on my GitHub, and the link is given in the description below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this project and want to see more ESP32 builds, AI agentic coding projects, and 3D printed gadgets, stay tuned. I will see you in the next video.